What up, Jason? I don't hear you. Can't hear you. Hold up. Can't hear you. Talk now.
Right now, can you hear me?
Got you.
Okay.
Got you. You good to go, man?
All right, cool.
All right. I'm gonna jump on. Probably go for about 3 minutes, and I'm gonna bring you right on.
All right. Sounds good, my brother. Sounds
All
good.
right. Let's get this thing started. Gotta peep my theme song, man.
I got you. Yeah. Markus,
Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns on liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What up, good people? Welcome to the Pro Fan Talk Thursday night, 9 o'clock. This is how we do it, where we keep it 100 with you. Believe the toxic on the bench. We are ready to go. We are at the Final Four. We are at the last leg of the relay. No more excuses. No more waiting. Nothing. It's time to get down to business and see what's what. And we're going to find out who's the two best teams in the league. And this is what you play for. All of that stuff, all of that talk, everything we was going through way back in camp, talking about Devin White and the Kobe Dean was not going to see any play time, and who was Zach Bond, and could Slay stay healthy? What's going to happen with Bradbury? What all of them questions that we had way back when. How many of y'all had it on your bingo card that we would be right here today? And let's be honest, I've said this before. If it wasn't for self-inflicted wounds, the Eagles should have been 16-1. But woulda, coulda, shoulda, don't do nothing but ride. We had our opportunities, and the times we didn't take advantage of them, we got burned. However, we still where we need to be. We still where a lot of other people need to be. People still trying to talk trash on Jalen Hurts, and the only thing he does is win. I said this before. There are a whole lot of passing yards at home on the couch watching TV. It's a whole lot of passing yards out in Cancun at the vacation suite, at the vacation resort, on the golf course. It's a whole lot of passing yards. All of them quarterbacks that check them boxes. And you know what? Josh Allen running the ball. Patrick Mahomes running the ball. Jaden Daniels running the ball. Jalen Hurts running the ball. Everybody's getting it done how they have to get it done. What else you got to say about that? Not a thing. But we're going to get it on and popping today. I got a special guest, my brother, one of my teammates from Eastern Kentucky University. We played together in college. I was in the league a couple years before him. Then he came through Philadelphia, played 4 good years in Philly. Then he went to Kansas City and played 8 good years in Kansas City, played with the likes of Tony Gonzalez, one of the best in the business. So he learned from the best. I'm going to bring my man on. Jason Dunn is in the building. Y'all show him some love. What's going on, JD?
What's happening? What's going on, Markus? How you doing, brother? How's everything going for you?
Man, it's going good. I appreciate you coming through, brother. It is the Final Four, man. We ready to rock and roll, man.
Oh man. Listen, it's now it's down to business, right? We've been sitting over here, been watching week after week, and I was just listening to you talk about when it comes down to it, it's about winning games, okay? And however you have to do it to get there, then all those things are okay. It's all right, okay? And everybody should be happy about that. And what I've seen, and I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan. I watched Jalen Hurts just come out there and just do his thing. He's been able to come out and just win games. And sometimes certain guys, I don't quite understand why some fans have hate of particular ones, right? Jalen Hurts, for everything that he has, you may say he's not flashy. You may not say that he has a lot of the excitement to himself when he's there, obviously in the pressure and whatnot. But Jalen Hurts is a man that is determined to win games. He is determined to try to win a championship. And so for me, I always defer these things to guys that play with him, guys that coached him, guys that know him the best. One of the guys that, and you were saying, because I play with Kansas City, I do a show called Chiefs Concerns. We have a brother of one of the Chiefs great in Jason Kelsey. I've heard Jason Kelsey talk nothing about his leadership, talking about nothing but his grit, talking about nothing but he is a champion. He always wants to win. When he comes into the huddle, he commands attention, and everybody understands that. So sometimes I just can't wrap my head around it, man. I just cannot wrap my head around some of the anger, the hate, the vitriol that some of these guys hear. I think it's somewhat ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. It seems like avoiding the isms of it. Everybody wants their quarterback to check them boxes. They want them to be 6'3", 6'4". They want them to have that long cannon arm. They want them, to be drop back in the pocket and stay there. You got to escape if you have to. You're athletic enough to get out of trouble if you have to do it.
Yeah.
But they want people to stay back in that pocket and throw the ball all over the place. And it's like, I don't understand when people are going to understand and figure out that the era of Dan Marino and all them quarterbacks from the 80s and 90s
Troy
Aikman, absolutely. Tony Romo, all of them Cowboys quarterbacks, man, standing back in the pocket. As good as Dak is, Dak don't even run enough, in my opinion, because he can't run.
I agree. I do agree.
It's just I don't understand why people so scared of it. And I think this year, if not for any other year, especially with what Jalen Hurts has done, especially with what Patrick Mahomes has done, and especially what Josh Allen has done, and you might as well throw Lamar Jackson in there because it looks like Josh Allen probably will win the MVP. I think they did it right, holding back the announcement of it. But with Josh Allen I think Lamar's got statistically a better year. But with Josh Allen, it's going to come down to what Josh Allen does this weekend.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the way it should be, man, because at the end of the day, just like you were saying, it's all about wins. You can they even got Joey Burrow in the mix. And I'm like, Joe Burrow had a phenomenal year with everything that Cincinnati went through. But at the end of the day, you can't compete with somebody that's got their team playing for a conference championship. You just can't.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the playoffs, man. So,
so let me respond to a little bit of that. I do believe, okay, that the whole MVP race, I think it was sealed up last week. I think it was going to boil down to who actually won that game. And I do believe that even though statistically Lamar had a better year than Josh Allen, I look at it as level of difficulty.
Agree.
So the Bills, who are you throwing to? Who do you have? You got a James Cook, obviously, but you don't have a Derrick Henry. James Cook and Derrick Henry is not the same guy. We start looking at receivers, right? You got an Amari Cooper who's kind of long in the tooth,
and a rookie,
and a rookie, right? Who hasn't, shown that, he's that guy yet. Okay, and he's getting there. He's growing and whatnot.
Yeah, he's shown flashes.
Yeah. So Josh Allen, a lot of it's just been on his shoulders. Where what we've seen this year is something that Lamar's always had to him, in my estimation, is that Lamar can throw the football. He's a Heisman Trophy winner for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They try to move him to being a wide receiver. GMs wanted him to come in as a wide receiver. The craziness.
No.
Yeah. Come on, man. And then to see, you got, obviously Bateman, Flowers get hurt, but Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, he has guys kind of around him where Josh Allen has really been putting it on himself. Not that Lamar can't do it, because obviously he has more rushing yards and whatnot. He's just electric in itself. Lamar is just a talent that nobody can deny, right? But I said, he probably had it sewn up because of the level of difficulty was an issue, and why he sold it up.
Yeah, man. And it's 2 years in a row, man. His receivers let him down. I feel bad about that, man.
Yeah.
You made the right play. You threw you hit the man in the hands twice, 2 years in a row. Your receivers dropped ball at crucial times in the game. And it ended up costing him, man. And I tell you what, man, when you come off of a loss like that, man, that off season is long on. And you got to stew on that for a long time. And now he got to hear all of the nonsense, all the rigmarole, can't win the big one, this, that, and the other, man. And it's like, it's unfair, but it's fair because when you the franchise, that comes with the paycheck, so you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. That's right.
So it's very interesting how that plays out. I just feel bad because for him to have that type of year, and again, for it to come down where you make the throw that you had to make, to get your team another opportunity, and the guy that you count on 99 out of 100 times to catch that ball doesn't catch the ball. This was the 100th time, and he just hit him dead in the hands, and he makes that catch 99 more times, man. But just this was the one that didn't, man. And
did you see that's happened 3 times, almost the exact same play?
Where he dropped it?
He dropped it. Yeah, going into the flat. He's in the flat.
Wow.
He's dropped it. One time it was like over his hand. Another time we seen it hit him right here in the bread basket. I think another time he just couldn't reel it in. And it was pretty much the exact same play. Same diagram of it and whatnot. And he just wasn't able to get it. And it's a little sad to watch something like that. And if you see him in the locker room, video of it, what him's going through it, just the feeling of it, the weight of this loss, because a lot is on his shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Because I disagree when people say, well, Lamar needs to win this one because, he's got to cement his legacy. Well, his legacy's already cemented.
Right.
How many guys you're going to see get multiple MVPs?
2 of them MVPs, man. Back to back.
Man. Back to back in a season. So you're not going to be able to take away from his greatness. I'm just saying that you could probably go ahead and put a cherry on top if he does win a Super Bowl. That's the thing about it. But as far as what he's been able to do, I mean, look at other guys, great quarterbacks. Dan Marino, if you will. Okay? Never won one. Do you take away from Dan Marino's greatness? Absolutely not. And then I'll even go into, like you was talking about before, is this whole notion that a quarterback has to be the prototypical guy, size-wise, pocket passer. To me, that has been disputed, and it has been absolutely broken.
Right.
And so while we don't acknowledge, and we kind of go back into the same realm of them talking about, Lamar, we want you to be a wide receiver. No, a quarterback doesn't mean just standing back in the pocket throwing the ball. A quarterback means a guy that is orchestrating the offense, that could throw, who could pass, who could run, could do all those different things, okay, and still win the game. He is in that position of being the quarterback. And so we need to get away from some of these gatekeepers and these definitions of what a quarterback really is.
That's the good word for it, because it all comes down to who's actually making the pick. You know what I mean? Because I look at it like this. There were people that sat around the table, right? And they decided that Zach Wilson was a good choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just because people pay you to be the smartest man in the room doesn't mean that you are.
There you go.
And how many times does that happen? How many times, and this is the one thing that people never talk about. How many times do top quarterback, number 1 quarterbacks, first round quarterbacks, how many times do they miss? They miss more times than they hit.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
So you look at somebody like Mahomes. They got Mahomes. Y'all got Mahomes, what, 3rd round?
What was Mahomes? I think Mahomes is no, he's a first round pick.
Was he a first rounder? I thought he was like back a little bit, because I knew Andy Reid wanted him.
He was I think the 3rd quarterback taken, but he was 10th overall. So,
Gotcha. Okay, my mistake.
Yeah. So who did they take before him? That's why I was trying to figure out who they took before him, though.
That's the thing, man. When you go back and you look at all of the quarterbacks that would have, find your first Pro Bowler, or make it easy. Look, all the people that were picked before Patrick Mahomes, all the people that were picked before Jalen Hurts, and just go down. Lamar Jackson, we're gonna have affinity for Lamar Jackson because he played in Louisville. So that's
Right.
like home for us. And I remember specifically, and this is why I like Lamar Jackson the way I do. I remember specifically when he was still in Louisville and everybody knew he was coming out and the talk was hot about him moving positions. And I can't remember who he played against, but he had like 4 rushing touchdowns. He was doing his thing. He was doing his Michael Vick thing. Lamar in college down at Louisville was like Michael Vick meets Dante Hall. It ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I remember after that game, he lit him up on the ground. And everybody started that talk about him not being a good quarterback or a good prospect for the NFL. That next week, he came back and threw 5 touchdown passes through the air. And he was throwing dimes. And I was like, if that was anybody else,
yes,
if that was anybody else, it would be a totally different narrative. And let me be honest with you, they tried to do that with Shador. I don't know how much you watch Colorado, but the biggest thing that I saw with Shador Sanders was Shador Sanders stood in the pocket, took the hit, and still got rid of that ball on target and on time most of the time. He is not a running quarterback. He definitely didn't inherit his daddy's speed. That's for damn sure.
That's for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Shador, time and time again, man, would stand back in the pocket and just throw the ball, get rid of the ball. He was looking to buy time to throw the ball. He was not looking to run, man. And that's what I think everybody liked about it. That was the best. I thought he was one of the best in the country. I think the kid from what's his name? Ward. Is that the kid from Miami? Cam Ward.
Yeah, Cam Ward. Yes.
That kid was next level. That kid was next level. But Shador put it in there, man. But everybody wanted, I guess they got caught up in the talk and all of that kind of stuff. So
they wanted them to fail. They were not Shador, but they wanted Colorado. They wanted to teach Deion Sanders, the big mouth primetime, a lesson. Okay, that you don't belong up here. You're not as good of a coach as you say you are. This is all hype and fluff. And they believe in nepotism and him taking care of his kids. And, you can have an argument about those things. But Shador is a very talented quarterback.
Absolutely.
Now, for me, does that mean he's the best in the country? I don't think so. I don't think he's, should be the first pick in the draft. That's my own personal opinion.
I think that depends on the team. And I think it depends on what you're looking for. Again, that goes back to those people that are sitting around the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? I saw what's your boy, the guy that just got hired by the Jets, Aaron Glenn.
Yes.
From Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Great hire.
Yeah.
But he's another defensive coach.
Yes.
Robert Saleh was a great defensive coach. When they fired Robert Saleh, the Jets was ranked 10th in defense. They had a top 10 defense. The problem wasn't the defense. The problem was the quarterback they chose. Then they kicked Zach Wilson to the curb. Then they brought in Aaron Rodgers, that hot mess.
Yep.
And you know what? I don't say this often, man, but I always thought Aaron Rodgers was a dick. Period. I say it just like that, man. Because the way he come off and just like you know what? You got what you got. Karma came back for you because all of that smack you was talking and all of that nonsense you put out there, at the end of the day, all you had to do was play football and you did everything but. So, and you ended up getting your coach fired.
It's the arrogance and the smugness. Yeah. And the thing is, he did it when Mike McCarthy was able to leave out of Green Bay.
Yeah.
He tried to do it with LaFleur up there in Green Bay right now. Trying to do everything his way. And so he felt like he had the cachet and he's done everything in the body of work. Well, guess what, Aaron? You ain't won a Super Bowl in quite some time.
Right.
And, they've given you everything that you wanted. And you've gotten everything that you deserve from all of that as well. And so when sometimes what I don't like about it, this is what I don't like about Aaron Rodgers, is because he's quick to deflect off of the things he does and does right, does wrong. And he'll visibly cuss out teammates or fuss at them and all those different things. But we come to me, hey guys, like why y'all getting on me?
Right.
No, no,
You
buddy.
want to play victim.
That's right. Absolutely. Every chance he gets, goes in crying, gets on Pat McAfee, and you know,
Ugh.
he's talking about all this journey. Well, good. Find the journey that you need to get to. But right now, the way that you acting, a lot of guys don't like it.
A lot of guys don't like it, especially when you losing.
Especially when you lose it, right?
Especially when you losing, man. And
so it's almost, I would say it's almost like this, Marcus. It's almost like how people felt like Russell Wilson was a prima donna.
Yeah.
Having your own office and all these own parking space and all these different demands and whatnot. How much more can you float over a team, okay, as being better than everybody else? How much more can you do that? That the guys would just be absolutely done with you, okay?
Right.
And nauseating. I cannot stand guys like that. I mean, like I play with a whole lot of them. And the thing is some of the guys, if you did, you had to knock them down the sides. Like, hey, man, we all out here trying to play.
Yeah. People don't realize that does not happen often. But when it does happen, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yes, it does.
Sticks out like a sore thumb, man. And I like Russell Wilson, but I know he had to be grating on some people's nerves. Because a lot of people, the bottom line is they don't like, a lot of people ain't good with that goody two-shoes stuff. Just the same way everybody ain't good with the rah-rah guy. You know what I mean? So it's the same stuff, man. But I agree with you, man. You got to be able to relate to the guys that's standing right next to you, and everybody can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can't do that, man.
I'll take it to what Martavis Bryant said about Brandon Marshall, and Brandon Marshall's like, yeah, man, I had such and such Pro Bowls and stuff like that. Martavis Bryant said, man, 6-time Pro Bowlers get knocked out too.
Yeah,
I'm talking. So what do you want? When you act like you can't get touched,
exactly.
I can care less. You get 6 Pro Bowls. I'll put about 6 speed knots on your forehead about
put
this
the beads on them.
That's right. So you keep it up if you want.
And you know what, man? And I'll bring this back to Philly, because like just that whole conversation we just talked about, and then I look at everything that happened with AJ Brown and all that kind of stuff, and that's why I always say, most people have no idea the dynamics that go on in the locker room. They don't have a clue. I got a running joke on my show, bro, where I'm like, I am determined. I am going to do my own personal investigation. I'm going to pay for it myself. And I'm going to find this guy named Sources. I'm going to find that dude. Because sources close to the information, sources close to the team, they always got something to say. And what it usually comes out is they so far away from the truth, it's not even funny. But when the masses, if that's all they have to listen to, that's what they're going to run with. And it's like, y'all have no clue. And I never thought about it like this until this year when the AJ stuff happened. And I thought about it like, you mean to tell me that there's a snitch in the locker room? And everybody knows there's a snitch and they just okay with that? I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. Ain't nobody going where you telling family business like that and everybody just cool with it. Nah, it don't go down like that. So a lot of times they get these what they call them, purposeful leaks. I'll buy that. But ain't nobody close to the situation. Somebody told you that and you went and ran with it, man. But ain't nobody snitching on the teammates and all of that type of stuff. So, it is what it is, man. And everybody want to be everybody wants to be in the locker room, but they have no clue how it works, man. How them dynamics work.
No, not at all. Not at all. Hey man, I've heard, but you ain't hear from me.
Yeah, you ain't heard it from me.
Oh man, come on. Yeah.
Donnell Shipley, thank you for the $5 super chat, bro. It's funny, when Tim Tebow and Johnny Manziel came out of college, they wasn't asked to switch positions. That's a good point. Well, Tebow was. They wanted Tebow to move to tight end, and he eventually did go to tight end. But that was just, Tebow just wasn't a great quarterback. And
but not initially though. They didn't have him initially coming out for a tight end. I never heard that. I've never seen that because I went back to see because of like that some of that conversation. But I never heard any GM say they wanted to switch over to tight end.
I remember hearing about like possibly moving him to wide receiver or something because he was so big and he
Yeah.
could run. But
Mhm.
you know, basically from the start, everybody like Lamar, everybody was trying to figure out a way to get him away from quarterback. They knew he was an athlete,
Yeah.
but he was dead set on staying at quarterback, and he did. And then when he came back, he was like, "Well, maybe I'll get his tight end thing and try." And it was like, "Yeah, nah, you can't just
No, man.
you good, but you're not that good."
No, come on.
So
Hey, I see that joker try to throw a block, and I said, "Oh, he's done." I already knew it. First off, I was like, "Don't disrespect the tight ends and try to throw a joker in our
I
group."
knew you was
Okay?
gonna say that.
Absolutely. That is completely disrespectful. Well, he gonna play tight end. That's okay. Watch. That joker gonna get folded up like a cheap suit. You watch it.
Man, you get
He
you
went
get
in
your
there,
feelings hurt.
yeah, real quick. Go
Mess
try to
around,
make a
find out
defense
if you
win.
want to.
Right. So yeah, I was first one on that. As soon as I was like, man, don't do that. Do
Yeah.
not do that. Do not put him on our name. Don't put him over in our group. I love Tim Tebow, but he's not built for that. Sorry.
Yeah. What up, Frat? My boy,
Yeah.
you know Lloyd?
Lloyd, I can't see his face.
Lloyd Haskett. He was he played he one of the frat bros. He plays
Yeah, I know
Alpha.
Lloyd.
Yeah, he would have been down there a couple years after I left.
Yeah, I know Lloyd. Now I can see his
Yeah.
face. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Lloyd. What's up, Lloyd? What's happening, brother?
So, but a good point about Tebow and Johnny Manziel
Mm-hmm.
was it was so much everybody was trying to promote them so badly.
Yeah.
So badly.
Mhm.
But that just goes to show how few really good quarterbacks and really good leaders there are in the NFL. Anybody can, well, not anybody, but you get a lot of quarterbacks that come out. Then you get the high draft picks, and then you get somebody like Brock Purdy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Brock, to me, I can't hate on Brock Purdy. I can hate on him because he played with the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see people like Brock Purdy, like Jalen Hurts, like Tony Romo, I don't hate
Yes.
Tony Romo because I remember when Tony Romo got the job in Dallas, everybody was like, "Man, we need a new draft pick, quick, fast, and in a hurry. This kid ain't gonna last." They didn't even
Right.
want to say his name. They didn't want to put his name on the damn back of the jersey. Tony Romo. They clowned him forever, and all he did was win when he got this opportunity. So I always look at people like Tebow, and I look at people like Manziel, who got every opportunity afforded to them. Their leash was long, and they still couldn't get it done. And then you see people like Josh Allen, because people forget the first 2 years that Josh Allen was in Buffalo, man, they
Yeah.
was trying. He was hot garbage.
Oh,
He
yeah.
couldn't hit a mirror in the bathroom,
No.
but they stuck with him. They
Right.
were trying to run him out of town his first 2 years. They thought they made the wrong pick his first 2 years, and then that third year he started coming around, and then now he Josh Allen. But that just goes to show you, man, like regardless of position, regardless of if you are a draft pick or not, you can't just, NFL players are not like pancakes, man. You can't just add water and stir. Sometimes
Right.
very rarely do you get that. Jaden Daniels is a unicorn in my book. You're not going to see too many
Yeah.
rookies that come out like that. And then when you do, it's a recipe of things. You got to be at the right place at the right time with the right coach. And
Mhm.
he got the jackpot this year.
What you know the whole thing about, I've seen this the other day, and I thought it was such an incredible article talking about the virtual reality training that he did. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you've heard it. And
Yeah.
so I think this
I
man,
reached out to the company.
did you? Oh my
Yes.
goodness. That
Yeah.
yeah. If every team in college now doesn't have some semblance of that type of program
They're
part of
crazy
yeah, they are crazy.
because it's
Uh,
too good.
way too good. With the results are right there in it. So they were sitting there saying, well, is there something inherently in him? Or is he just training his brain? Obviously, just training helps you out. It's just like anything else. You
Yeah.
train somebody a particular way. We know this, especially on this level. The more you train at a high level, okay, with speed, pressure situations, the better
Yeah.
off you're going to be. It's going to slow down for you.
Recognition.
Recognition. And
Yep.
so that's why some guys, and I say this, Marcus, the guys that you named, a lot of those guys are not NFL ready. probably
Right.
because some of the systems they run in college. Okay, I coached college for 4 years. They don't prepare them guys for the next level.
Right.
Take a lot of the thinking out of it for the guys, and I hated it. And I start seeing some of these systems. I'm like, man, this is terrible. Y'all are setting these guys up for failure because once they get up there, them trying to read defenses or them trying to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage, it's not going to work. You don't have the guys like a Peyton Manning to do the type of homework. Going to a guy that nobody really seen coming, a Tom Brady, who took his time just to kind of learn the game and try to get better at those things. And so when you have these new guys come in, a lot of them struggle. Well, why? Well, part of it is the systems that they ran. Part of it is because you have them now having to really think, use football IQ when they just necessarily can't do it. They can't make the first or second read. They're definitely not going to get to the third one, right? So they lock on certain guys. And so that's some of the things that you see. And we know right now that the defenses in the NFL are so complex. You're a great defense coordinator, right? I have one up there in Philly right now. We have one in Kansas City in Spags. We understand that those guys, they live and breathe on making sure they confuse the quarterback.
Absolutely.
That's what they do. So
absolutely. And you think you look at the biggest difference now is people forget. This era of fans has never seen Troy Aikman play. That's my dig on Cowboys fans. Because I grew up, I wasn't a Cowboys fan, but I was a Tony Dorsett fan.
Okay.
So,
right. Yeah.
So what I always tell Cowboys fan is, because the first thing they want to say is, well, how many rings you got? But I always say, like, listen, if you never had the chance to see Troy Aikman play in person, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Because you're going by the past.
Right.
You wasn't even living when that happened. So I'm not trying to hear it from you. But what people tend to forget is Troy Aikman and Peyton Manning.
That's right.
Troy Aikman won one game his rookie year. And threw like 18 picks. And I believe Peyton Manning's rookie year, he broke the record for interceptions in the year.
Interceptions. Yes, he did. Yeah.
And it took him 4 years, and it took him like 3 or 4 years plus Edger and James for him to get it together. And then the same thing, Troy Aikman, and it was him, and then Emmett. Did Emmett come the next year? Because it was like Troy, then Emmett, then Michael Irvin. I can't remember who came first.
I think that's how it was. I think it was like all three of those guys, and then that's when everything changed, kind of blossomed for them. Well,
and then that's when then when they got Larry Allen, it was a wrap, bro.
Yes,
it
sir.
was a wrap.
Yes,
but nobody remembers that. Nobody remembers, because I look at it like this: if Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman played in today's football, they'd have been benched. They'd have been considered draft busts.
Yes,
because they don't. Because people think Caleb Williams sucks, and it's like Caleb Williams doesn't suck. Caleb Williams, he ain't got a good coach. Justin Fields doesn't have a good coach. Justin Fields is not a running quarterback. Justin Fields with Ohio State, he would stand in that pocket and deliver the ball. He did not run until he got to Chicago because he was running for his damn life.
Yes.
And that's what I say. The unfortunate thing about Justin Fields and Caleb Williams is they didn't have the right coach and infrastructure in place to get the most out of them. We got lucky. We did. Because let's be honest, when Nick Sirianni got hired, didn't nobody give a damn about him and didn't think he was going to last long. And then come to find out, it's amazing what happens when you give somebody a chance to prove themselves.
Yeah. Well, didn't Dougie, when Dougie was there, he didn't really believe in Jalen Hurts.
He was another last case scenario.
Yeah, he was.
No head coaching experience.
None. Well, under Andy, he gets, wins the Super Bowl, comes over here, does a great job as far as, being in that system, runs pretty much the same thing. But, he wanted to get the prototypical guy that he thought was going to be able to run his offense. And so, thank God those guys was like, wait a minute, hold on, man. Look, Jalen Hurts is the future, okay, of the Philadelphia Eagles. We need to understand that. We need to understand exactly who we have in the building. And I'm glad they was able to see that. Look, I love Doug Peterson, played with him up there in Philly, but sometimes there's different visions about what it is that you want to believe, right? Who you want to play. And I love that what you said about Justin Fields, because I'm sitting there thinking, like, y'all had this weapon in Chicago. Y'all didn't do anything to help this guy out by putting people around him, didn't give him a great coach. I can't even think his name because they got rid of him. The last coach who was throwing everybody under the bus, and everything.
Eberflus.
Eberflus. Yeah, Eberflus. We're talking about was the offense coordinator. It's all that. You got rid of everybody but you.
Everybody but the problem.
Right. But the problem. You the one doing all the hiring. You the one making all the decisions. You supposed to be the joker that goes. And finally they got rid of him. But without a doubt, if somebody can unlock Justin Fields, hey man, you got a weapon on your hands. And it takes the right guy, the right system to be able to do that.
Exactly. And that's what Jaden Daniels is as. He's got, we wanted Cliff Kingsbury here. The word was, the reason why we didn't hire Cliff Kingsbury was because he would have wanted to bring in his own staff. Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But here in Philadelphia, if anybody talks about getting rid of Jeff Stoutland, nah, son. Nah. Jeff Stoutland is Teflon. He is
right?
Man, let me tell you something. Jeff Stoutland is unquestionably the best offensive line coach in the NFL, hands down. Period. Everybody we get on the offensive line, he makes a star. Everybody.
Y'all had some good ones, man. That's for daggone sure.
And I think that's the reason we didn't hire Cliff Kingsbury. Because I wanted Cliff Kingsbury.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted somebody with Jalen Hurts because of his background with his dad and all of that type of stuff. I was like, Jalen Hurts need like an old school style coach.
Yeah.
Like that can give him that tough coaching. Because I remember it was a big thing here a couple years ago. With Jalen Hurts, he said this in the media. He said, I told Coach Sirianni, like, yo, you can coach me harder. I've been coached hard before. I can handle that. And just trying to, and that was when Sirianni was just still trying to figure out his way. But like, I was like, Jalen Hurts needs somebody sometimes that you might need to bring the fire and brimstone on him. But that's what he's used to because he played for his dad all them years.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Then he went to play for Saban. Saban
Exactly.
will give you no leeway. But no, I agree with you. Now, I think Cliff Kingsbury, somebody said he's perfect for Daniels, and he is. He needed a guy besides, somebody small like Kyler Murray, and they didn't really gel together on that thing, didn't really work like they should have. And I do believe that Cliff Kingsbury is better coordinator than he is a head coach. Okay. Yeah. That's my own opinion. So would he been able to do something with Jalen Hurts? Sure. Why not? I do believe his is kind of more of that nouveau type of system that you have guys doing, which is perfect for Jaden Daniels, right? Who's like, hey, I can make adjustments with him. He's got the ability to make guys miss, do things, very talented, got a strong arm, can run. That's what you need. You need a guy that's a lethal weapon back there with Cliff Kingsbury because he's trying to put up a whole lot of points. That's his thing. So,
yeah, we got to. I just hope it's a new awakening with these coaches where they really can get into, you know what, you got to cater your game plan to your personnel, not the other way around. And that to me, that's a coach's ego.
Yeah.
My way is the highway, my way is the best way. Because I've been doing it for so long. And let me be honest with you, I had reservations about Fangio because I thought that's how Fangio was going to be. He's going to be the old school, everybody's running their version of his system.
Yes.
So when he got here, I was like, okay, we're going to see, we ain't got the man standing next to the man. We got the man.
You got the man.
We're going to see how this is going to work. And it's paid dividends. And I think credit to Fangio because he is an old school coach, but he's putting some new school twists with the things that he's doing, especially when you go back to what we was dealing with Sean Desai and Matt Patricia. That just wasn't working. I felt bad for the Sean Desai thing. I think they kind of railroaded him and pulled the rug from underneath his feet.
Sure did. I agree with you.
Because he had some good games.
Yeah.
And had our defense playing relatively well. We just couldn't tackle worth shit. And I was like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
So,
No.
it is what it is. But we Fangio is kind of found his fountain of youth, man. And he's whatever he figured out, he figured it out. Whatever Sirianni figured out, because up here, man, when I tell you people was clowning Sirianni, like
Yeah.
we don't want him as a CEO coach. What does a CEO coach do? And I was like, again, y'all have no idea what y'all talking about. Y'all have
Mhm.
no idea how difficult it is to wrestle all them personalities
Yes.
in a locker room.
Mhm.
That is supremely difficult. And if you got somebody that can do that, and most people again forgetting Bill Parcells was a CEO coach. Jimmy Johnson was a CEO coach.
Yeah.
What's
Andy
his name?
Reid,
Andy
CEO.
Reid, Dick Vermeil was a CEO coach.
Mhm.
They managed the personalities, and then finally Sirianni settled in, and people really gravitate toward him because I saw this last year, and I was one of the ones I didn't want Sirianni fired, but if he would have gotten fired, I would have understood why they did it. But when I changed on Sirianni completely, I was like, once I saw this, I was like, he's good. Don't get rid of him.
Yeah.
When we lost to Tampa Bay last year, and Fletcher Cox gave that speech in the locker room, they released it like a week or two later, but because he video recorded because he knew he was going to retire, and he was
Mhm.
telling the guys, he was like, look, this is it, I'm out, I'm done. But it was basically him co-signing for Sirianni, and I was like, he ain't have to do that. He was on his way out the door. There was no benefit of him saying anything positive or negative about Sirianni. There was no benefit because it was his moment to say farewell. I had a good run and all of that type of stuff. He didn't have to pump up Sirianni at all. And if he never said Sirianni one time, nobody would held anything against him because it was his moment. But he went out of his way to talk about Sirianni, the job he was doing, how everybody gravitates to him, how much he loved him and
Mhm.
appreciated. And I was like, you just don't do that.
Right.
If there's nothing there, you do
You're
not
yeah.
do that.
You don't have to. Well,
He's
fluff a
got
guy,
something.
you don't need to. Right. Absolutely. You don't have to fluff him. If I see you trying to sell me on something, then I'm gonna be a little bit more, hesitant.
Right.
Like, okay, why are you doing this? Right? Does the body work? Does it bear it out? Does it show it? Okay. But I think, when especially when you come into some of those things, just tell people like, look, just hold on to your seats. You're gonna see
Right.
exactly what this guy has, what he's getting. He's a good fit here. I think, man, to be honest with you, this era of, and we know this, it's always you are captured by the success that you have.
Right.
Guys that was up there in New England, they try to take the Patriot way everywhere, and it didn't work. Matt Patricia being one, try to go up there in Detroit, didn't work, and he trying to find somewhere to go. They try to bring it out there at Kansas City. Kansas City probably had some of the worst years bringing in Pioli and all those guys from the Patriots. Matt
Right.
Castle came down and played. And it was like, wait a minute.
Belichick tree.
Exactly. So everybody was going to be able to get success like that. Josh McDaniels had several jobs and able to give it. But then what you start seeing is like, look, you got to tailor things to, like you said, particular coaches. They got to have their way that they're going to be able to do things. I like Sirianni. I don't mind it. I know he's a little brash at times.
Mm-hmm.
He runs people the wrong way. He came to Kansas City. He was doing all that. And they'll take it. What do y'all think about that? Right? Fans didn't like that whatsoever. Right?
Right.
But look, you win, you're going to talk smack. You're going to
You'll talk your talk.
Yeah, right. I mean, what are you going to say? Like, okay, you got us this time. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, you got us this time. But I think he does have something to him, man. Times I see him when I hear him speak and talk, I like his attitude. I really like his attitude, man. Seems like a very down to earth coach. And you know how we and us, we look at, could I play for a guy like this?
Exactly. That's it in a nutshell.
That's right.
That's it in a nutshell.
That's right.
He's got that gift. Andy Reid had that gift where guys want to run through the wall for him.
That's right.
And you can't say that about everybody. You damn sure couldn't say that about Belichick and some of them other ones, but he was just so good. You couldn't ignore the success. But, I've seen them coaches that coach by fear, that coach that try to have something up on you. Um, some people say that Jimmy Johnson was that way, but that was an old school style, and Marty Schottenheimer and all them guys back then, they just did it. Dick Vermeil was the same way,
That's right.
would try to yell and scream, and it wasn't until he came back in the game with St. Louis till he realized what he was supposed to do.
Oh yeah,
Because he had a good measure of success, but he could never get over the hump. He had his opportunity he took Jaws to the Super Bowl, but they couldn't get the deal done.
Play for that man for 5 years. One of the greatest men that you will ever meet, as far as heart, empathy, caring about his players, who he is. Vermeil, yes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a story, like a couple of things about him. One of them, kind of going to that regard you was talking about. He said it. He stated it several times to us in team meetings. Like, I didn't know how to unwind and release. I was a little bit too hard on guys. I wanted a little bit demanded too much.
Yeah.
He said he regretted it because a lot of the stuff that he missed out on was family.
Yeah.
He was like, he didn't really get to enjoy his kids, watching them grow up and do the things. And so he changed a lot. So when he went on TV, he came back, he said, man, I learned how to do things a lot differently. And what we would do, Marcus, what he would do is he would bring each group over, okay, every position group over to his house. We would eat dinner, have wine, and that's what he would do throughout the entire season. Him and Carol, man, were just great hosts. He would come and he would cry in meetings because he cared so much deeply about the guys. Now, he'd get on you. That's one thing. He'll get on you. But also, too, he loved you. He loved you.
Yeah.
One of the greatest compliments that I think I've ever received from a coach is we were coming into meetings. And I was coming into meetings, and the coach seen me. He said, Jason, he said, man, he said, you know what? You're one of those guys I just got to see every single day, man. It makes my day good. I'm like, oh, coach, man,
get you in the fields.
Get me in the fields, man. I was like, hey, God, coach, like, all right, shoot. So
one of my homeboys, one of my best friends from Cincinnati, played with Vermeil. He was part of the greatest show on turf that year.
Oh, okay.
He was with the Rams that year, defensive back Ron Carpenter. And he used to talk about stuff like that. He was supposed to go. I asked him, was he going to go out to L.A. when they celebrated the Rams and all that type of stuff, going to the Super Bowl? But yeah, he's told me stories like that before, man. But I tell you what, to your point about like he can get on you, Ray Didinger tells a famous story of when him and Vermeil got into it. Because Vermeil was all upset because Ray Didinger wrote like a scathing article about him. And Vermeil didn't like that because, Vermeil is super sensitive. And back then, Philadelphia Inquirer was everything.
Yeah.
And Ray Didinger tells a story where him and Vermeil had it out, like yelling, screaming, door closed to the office, like they went at it. And he said, but they came to a mutual understanding. And Ray was like, listen, I'm not going to lie on you. I'm going to tell the truth. And when you start winning games and you start doing things different, then I'll write different. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it because you don't like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So good stuff with like Ray Diddy, man, and Vermeil, man. But I've heard many people talk about Vermeil, man. So
man. Yeah.
But this weekend, man, have you heard anything else about your Chiefs and the your injury report? I had something and then I lost it. I'm trying to remember where it was. I can't even find it.
No, not necessarily. And my thing is this: somebody actually got in contact with me today because they were talking about Patrick Mahomes is on it, and they said, "Is Patrick Mahomes going to play?" And I thought that was weird because I didn't get to look at the injury report for today. Because we did the show last night. I was like, I said, well, look, I'll tell you this. Patrick Mahomes will play even if he has 2 broken legs. He will go out there with cast on and try to get a wheelchair out there to go play. I said, if Patrick Mahomes had died, he would come back as a zombie to come play in the game. So that's how deep Patrick Mahomes is going to play. I don't care what you do to Patrick Mahomes. He is going to play. So I don't know if he got banged up in practice or, obviously he was dealing with that ankle injury. That was part of the issue for the last couple of weeks. So I don't know if it might be something like that, but I had to go and see. But look, we said this last night on my show, and I was saying, Marcus, deep in the playoffs right now, the end of the season, everybody's dealing with something.
Everybody's dealing with something. Everybody got something, man.
Everybody got something. I don't know one guy like, hey man, I feel great. Shoot, I'm good.
Nah, for the most part, we're a lot healthier than normally we have been. But everybody's dealing with. Every team got some injuries they got to deal with. But I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes is on there for us. Can you see that? Can you read that? Or
yeah, I'm looking at it right here. Yeah,
ankle. So Patrick Mahomes, the ankle. Jawan Taylor, his knee.
Yeah.
But they full practice. So
full practice.
They ain't missing nothing. And then you got the Bills. Bills got a lot of people dinged up. They going full go, but you know, it is what it is.
Look, we know this is a chess match too, right?
Yep.
So let me throw everybody on the injury report. Okay.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you dealing with some wounded animals over here. Okay. Oh, we smell there's blood in the water. Okay, come on over here. Right? Everybody's sitting over here playing possum the entire time. And so when you're sitting over here, what they're trying to do is they're trying defense coordinator, offensive coordinator. Well, this guy may be here, may not be here. My approach is you make sure you look like everybody's going to play. That's how you got to approach it. I don't care who it is. He is playing. Well, coach, he's on the injury report. He's playing. I'm telling you right now, he's playing. So however you want to look at it, we are going to go ahead and we're going to put everything together, the game plan, like that guy's playing. You had to.
Yeah, man. We talked last night, man. This is like all the cards on the table.
That's right.
Everybody is all in. So, and you take, I don't know, every opportunity. Opportunity is not the right word, but you looking at every little thing. If somebody on that injury report dinged up, you know, you trying to figure out what's the difference between 98% and 100%. Because if somebody dinged up, you know, they got turf toe or something, that means they 95, 96%. And they're going to go up against somebody that's 100%. You trying to find every little edge that you can get.
That's right.
You go into these games, man. We talked last night specifically about the Chiefs talking about, because I remember I mentioned going after Damar Hamlin, because I thought he was just playing okay, but that's somewhere where you can exploit that weakness, because he don't seem like he the fastest dude in the world.
No.
You know what I mean? Somebody can, man, you get your boy Xavier Worthy out there. Oh, he running past them jokers, man.
That's right.
He running past them. So you throwing everything out on the table. I know Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts did a walkthrough today. I'm like, what you going to learn from a walkthrough? So that's the big question with Philly right now is how much are we going to get from Jalen Hurts? And the big key to me is he going to be able to run the ball? That's the biggest key, because that in itself is going to keep the defense honest. So that's the big question. Obviously, all of the practices are going to be inside. The camera's not going to be in there, so they're not going to let you see anything. So again, we got to find this dude named Sources to see what he's seeing at practice, man. And that's what I want to see. I want to see what, I want to see when he go back on this 5 and 7 step drop. Does the pain in his knee cause him to throw the ball high, sail it high or something like that? Like, that's the type of stuff I want to see, man, because now it matters. It really matters.
I see him. Okay, he's a warrior. There's no question about it, man. He has a heart as far as going out there. Like I said, he's a champion. He's a winner. That's who he's always been. And he'll do whatever it takes to win. So if he needs to take off running, he will. If he needs to put himself a home way to get to that next one, right, because you have a little bit of time, he'll do that too. So that's why, to me, when you do see things like that, and you said this last night, you'll get some of that vitamin T, nice, good anti-inflammatory. Okay, they're gonna get you nice and comfortable for the game, right? Okay?
Indeed.
And then they're like, "Hey, man, go ahead, have at it." Barring that you don't have like a torn ligament or ACL or something like that, he should be fine. He'll be fine to do what he needs to go ahead and do to win the football game, right? Because like I said, there is no tomorrows. I'm sorry, it's not. This is it. This is all on the line. It's either win or go home. Pure and simple. And like you said, if you want to take another vacation with everybody else in Cancun, hey, have a seat. We got a little spot for you. Come on over here. Come on over here. Have a seat. Yeah. Well, you should have took off running. That's what you should have did.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. And now we saw this today. Chris, was that a coach that said that? I think it was a coach that said
really?
they said we're gonna hit him like a running back. If he what he was saying was if he runs, we're gonna hit him like a running back. And I'm thinking to myself, that doesn't sound right, but as opposed to what? They've been hitting him like a running back all year. He done taken a couple shots that probably should have been called, but they weren't. So that ain't nothing new, just as long as, because I know that one dude, the one linebacker, what's his name, Louvu? He got a little dirty streak in him. So you know you got to be careful of that, because you don't want to take no shots to the head. But we'll see. He's gonna do what he got to do, because we're gonna be trying to put hands on Jaden Daniels too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to see Jalen Carter lift him up by one hand again, like he did when he was at LSU. Nina said that was the DC that said it. Okay.
Oh, I mean, what was he supposed to say? We gonna hit him with a pillow, give him a nice little pillow, and then comfort him, let him play down. Shoot, you better say we're gonna put some helmets and hat on him. Sure, you take off running, he's gonna get all the business. That's what he's doing. That's what he get paid for. So
yeah, it ain't no excuses, man. It ain't no excuses now. It ain't like if somebody get knocked out, it's got to be next man up. Because guess what? I remember back, everybody had something to say when Brock Purdy, we would have beat you if Purdy stayed in the game. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Our damn defense was too good. And guess what? That's the way it happened. And y'all had your opportunity the next year, and y'all made it to the big game, and y'all couldn't get it done. So don't get mad at me. But so yeah, the coaches putting it out there. The coaches put it out there so the players don't have to worry about it. They're gonna ask the coaches the questions and not necessarily the players. But the one thing that always frustrates me is, again, like in this particular situation, because there's so much Philly hate in the national media, everybody talks like Washington is the only team saying anything or doing anything. And it's like, y'all think the Eagles been standing still all year? You think the Eagles haven't gotten better since the last time we played? All of that stuff, it goes on both sides. And at the end of the day, when they step on the field, just like we did with LA, we're going to find out what's what and who's who. So
did y'all split this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember that we beat them the first game. We beat them pretty handily the first game.
Yeah.
Which was, hold on, I got notes on this. We beat them pretty handily the first game because we were looking at Saquon. Saquon had 26 carries for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns in our first meeting.
That's right.
But in that second meeting, he had 29 carries, 150 yards. But that's the game that Jalen Hurts got the concussion. But in the second half, he had 16 carries for 27 yards in the second half of that game.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they put 15 men in the box in the second half.
Yeah. It looked like I was trying to give the game away. When I was sitting there looking, I'm like, man, what are they doing?
Yeah.
It just was like, I remember that. Okay.
And then we still should have won the game, because that's the game where Devontae Smith drops that first down pass.
Yep.
Which we could have ran the clock out after that.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. You're not just gonna you don't just get a run defense in a week. Detroit ran all over you. We ran all over you. And if you want to go back, you look at all of them games, man. The running defense is not good. You had to put 8 men in the box. And the only reason that was successful is because when Kenny Pickett was in, I think Kellen Moore just got nervous and didn't want to call like he normally would, because we didn't throw the ball that much. That we were still trying to give it to Saquon. And that's really when I was going in, like pulling my hair out. I was like, would y'all please run him outside? Please. One time. Yeah. But like sometimes they get a little pigeonholed in what they're trying to do, man. But our defense is still the best in the league. Your run defense is still not good. And that's not going to change in a week.
No.
So, with the exception, if there's anything that I am concerned about, is I want to see what Kellen Moore is going to do with our passing game. because Jalen has to be better throwing the ball. If Jalen was just average, throwing the ball, it wouldn't even be a contest.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't even be a contest. So, we got a couple guys with chips on their shoulder. Terry McLaurin, Quinyon Mitchell.
Yep.
Pretty much shut Terry McLaurin down in that first game. Terry McLaurin had he had 2 targets. I believe he had 1 catch for like 10, 20 yards or something like that. Like Quinyon got busy on him. Wow. He played well. Like Terry McLaurin didn't do nothing. That second game, Terry McLaurin went off.
Yeah.
Went off in that second game. So now you got that grudge match, but all we need is for the young fella, just keep doing what you've been doing, man. You've been playing solid ball all year. You ain't got to play out of this world. Just continue to do what you've been doing. You ain't got to shut them down, but you can limit the big plays. You have done a very good job of doing that. I don't see why they should be any different.
Yeah.
So the biggest concern for me would be, what are you going to do with Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler when they are on the field at the same time?
Yeah,
that's what you got to worry about.
That's right. That's right.
Because Austin Eckler, that screen game with Eckler is pretty damn good.
That's who he is, man. We've seen him for years over there when he was with the Chargers, against the Chiefs, man. That was a superpower. To be honest with you, I thought he was going to get a much bigger deal than what he did. He was almost kind of a casualty too, not paying running backs. And I thought, matter of fact, I'm going to say this, Marcus, as a running back, I think he was the one that first kind of stepped over the line like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and just, go ahead and play it out. And the other guys like, man, what are you doing? Like, we got the power. Like, they had to pay us. And he just went ahead and just signed, and sure enough. But a talented guy, man. Talented guy. No question about it. Yeah, he's dangerous in the screen game, man. He's silky smooth, get skinny. Definitely coming through the line. He is really elusive. Really elusive.
So we gotta see if we can get them turnovers like we did last game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've had good success forcing them to turn the ball over, but you can't give him the last shot.
Yeah.
You can't give him the last opportunity like we did last time. So it's very clear what we need to do to win the game, and I don't see why we cannot do it. The linebackers are okay, just okay. So we'll see what we can do. We see what we dial up, man. And like I said, I don't see any reason why we can't handle this. No reason whatsoever, bro. But
no, look, it's going to be a tough match, and the same thing in Kansas City and the Bills.
Yeah,
we understand that. But I've said these are 4 teams that are deservingly should be in this position. They play good ball all season, all year. I think the only one to me that is somewhat a surprise is the Commanders. I didn't think the Commanders were going to be as good as they were this year.
Agree, especially with a rookie quarterback.
Absolutely. All that's on Jaden Daniels. I'm going to give a quick shout out if you don't mind, man. We got our guys, Jason Thomas from EKU, who's sitting here watching the show, man. I just want to give him a shout real quick.
Where JT at? That's my
JT's
brother.
Out here. Yeah, JT.
I missed him.
Yeah. So he's out here watching, Marcus. I don't know if he can get on and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. How much do you think Spags is going to send the blitz? Because I would imagine the main concern is to try to find a way to keep Josh Allen in the pocket.
Yes. I would assume that he's going to do it like he did against Stroud somewhat. I think he'll mix it up.
Right.
He let Stroud kind of get a little bit comfortable. That's what I love about Spags. Because he has patience in what he's doing. He's like, I'm going to let everybody figure everything out. I'm going to let them make their second half adjustments. Once they make the adjustments and think this is what we're going to do, now we're bringing the heat and the fire.
Right.
So with Josh Allen, you have to mix it up. You got to blitz when they don't expect blitz. You got to disguise it as much as possible. But I do believe that you have to do it maybe early and often to get him off his rocker immediately, right? So you get him happy where he can't just stand around. He likes to run. Well, now he can't even throw the football to his wide receivers. They're not even getting open. So now he's got to think he's got to make moves, and he's got to go ahead and try to make plays with his legs. And I think if you get a hat on him early and often by bringing the heat, you will throw him out of the game. That's what I believe. And so his wide receivers, tight ends, and all those guys are going to be frustrated. And then, of course, the running game is not going to be the same. And you know how it is. You try to get up as much as you can so they become one-dimensional, right? So Josh Allen's he's always going to put it on his shoulders.
Right.
Now he's that guy that you have to put it on his shoulders. Then guess what? We're going to keep bringing the heat to you. That's what is going to have to happen. We let our guys in the back play. Our secondary had to do a much better job. We've had a problem like covering the backs and tight ends and the slot guys. So that's been our issue.
Yeah, man. Both games are going to be tight this weekend, man. Both games are going to be tight. So I'm looking forward to. Are you? Do you do live watches during the game, or you go after?
Yeah, after. I'll do it after. Yeah.
I'm probably going to do a
game,
live
but that's
watch.
good.
Yeah, I like the live watches because you don't have to. I don't necessarily commentate.
Okay.
I just have the microphone on, and what I would normally say and what I would normally do if I'm throwing my phone or throwing a shoe across the room or something like that, cussing and fussing, all of that type of stuff, man. Wife bring back a thing of wings or something like that. I'm eating wings and snacks, all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Go Big E. What's going on, JT, my dog? My brother.
Hey, Teasy. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir. Yeah. EKU in the building, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, it's gonna be 2 good games, man, and I'm looking forward to it. And on to New Orleans, baby. It's that one step closer, man. One step closer. And it's interesting being in this situation because you guys on paper, it's a little bit more up in the air than ours is. Because on paper, we should be the clear favorites. But with all the question marks with Jalen Hurts and the way Jay Daniels is playing, ain't nothing guaranteed, bro. That's why you got to put it down on the field, man.
Right. I don't care nothing about Vegas, what everybody projects and all that. I don't care about any of that, man. None of it whatsoever. Right? The guys on the field is going to determine what's going to happen, man. And Jalen Hurts, to me, and obviously playing at home gives you an upper hand.
Absolutely.
It does. No question about it. Not to mention your brother right there in the middle of the field that took over Nakobe Dean's, like he's playing at a high level. Bond defensively, man.
Yeah, Zach Bond.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's a monster.
And Oren Burks played well, so I'm expecting him to take the next step to play even better than he did last week. So they're gonna dial it up, man, and we're gonna see if like we talked last night about winning in the trenches, man, winning that line of scrimmage because Jalen Carter has been unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
So they could call holding on him every play if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
So, and they got he'll be going up against who? Let me see. This was in my notes. We talked about Austin Eckler and them. Oh, Jalen Carter against they got a backup right guard. So Jalen Carter's going to be looking to eat.
Oh, yeah.
He going to be looking to eat. And you cannot forget, and people do this all the time because you just don't hear his name on the airwaves a lot. We got this brother here named Milt Williams. People don't talk about Milt Williams enough. And he got a backup called Mari Ajomo.
Okay.
And but Milt Williams, man, that joker is a force. I'm worried that we might not even be able to keep him because he's going to probably demand so much money on the free agent market. Are we going to be able to re-sign him?
Wow. Okay.
He's been that good, but Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith has been eating up so much of the headlines, he kind of get lost in the sauce. But he is balling. So our defensive line is arguably the best in the league with what Jalen Carter's doing, what Josh Sweat is doing, what Milt Williams is doing, and of course what Nolan Smith is doing on that edge. And you got a backup at the guard position. And you got to go up against Jalen Carter.
You got to attack it. You had to, so.
There we go. Moro Ajomo. I kept wanting to say Mario Ajomo. Moro Ajomo. But he ain't he's a good third option, man. And it's like these boys are balling right now, man.
Yeah.
These boys are balling. So I am expecting Vic Fangio to continue to do what he's been doing. Like I said last night, like I said last week when I was on with Tone, 2 ways to win in the playoffs. Win the line of scrimmage, don't turn the ball over. That's it. It ain't complicated.
It's not.
Don't make it complicated.
Yeah. That goes for all the teams. But same thing here, Kansas City. I said without a doubt that line of scrimmage, who is right there in that whole junction, whoever wins there wins the game. That's where everything's going to be determined. And so we've had somewhat of moving our pro left guard out to tackle. He's done a great job. I don't know what it's going to look like this week, but they may go ahead and stick with him and Caliendo, who's the backup, who's doing a decent job. Our problem is that we've had a difficulty running the football. And so, because Pacheco hasn't been patient,
right.
to run.
Yeah, we talk. Yeah.
Kareem Hunt has been doing a much better job. But, Saquon Barkley, I mean, he's that guy. We understand.
On another level.
Yeah. But we have the same thing. Jalen Carter. Hey, Chris Jones. Chris Jones going to, he's going to warrant double and triple teams. That's what's going to happen. So everybody else around him has to eat. Everybody has to eat around him.
Everybody got to eat.
They got to.
Everybody got to eat.
Now,
when you double team him, say again?
I was going to say, if you one-on-one, if he leaves you, you got one-on-one, you got to win your one-on-one battle, right?
If you one-on-one with Jalen Carter or Chris Jones, you got a problem.
Oh, yeah.
You got a problem. Mm-hmm. So that's not something that's not a smart game plan. And it's been proven. It's not like we saying this. You can look it up on film, and it's like somebody else is gonna eat. So you can do that if you want to. I wouldn't advise it,
right?
But that's why the defensive line has been doing what they're doing in both situations, man. So it's time to step up. If you can't, what Riddick say? If you can't keep up, don't step up.
Don't step up. That's it. There you go. That's right.
But we've been rocking for about a minute, hour 15, man. So let everybody know where they can find you on Chief Concerns.
Well, we do a stream Chief Concerns. We do our live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then, of course, we do a post-game show. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Twitter, or X. Everybody calls, and I keep calling it Twitter. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter. I don't know. The X don't really I don't know. But and on YouTube. And so you'll find us on YouTube as well. Go to Chief Concerns, and you will see a myriad of shows that we've done with a lot of great players. And yours truly are here. Markus Thomas has come on a couple of times. We've had some of Dick Vermeil and guys that I would say, Markus, have almost transitioned the same way, where we either played with the Eagles and came to the Chiefs. We have a few of those guys that's done that. So
I had did you play with Mark McMillan?
No, I didn't play with Mark.
Okay. Because I always forget that he played for the Chiefs too.
Yes.
So everybody out there, man. But But it's gonna be a good bunch of games. So make sure y'all check out Jason Dunn on Chief Concerns Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Click that like and subscribe, man. We trying to grow, man. There's enough room for everybody to eat.
Everybody to eat, brother. Come on.
It's enough room for everybody to eat. Big shout out to everybody, Jason Thomas, everybody from the Richmond family, from the EKU family, man. Shout out to you, Jason. It's nothing but love, brother. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, man. Anybody else out there in the EKU world? We always trying to represent the Big E correctly, man.
That's right. That's right.
Rest in power to Coach Ison, Coach Kidd, Coach Blankenship, all the people that helped raise us right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So big shout out to anybody out there in Eastern Kentucky that's checking us out, that's listening and support, man. We appreciate you, man. But we're going to get up on out of here. I appreciate y'all. Everybody, the chat was fire tonight, man. Exalted Club, Pat Ryan, David Petroas, of course, my man JT, Nina Alston, Cody K. Appreciate you, Cody K. Always bringing that fire. Pat Ryan is always bringing that fire. Bow 316. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody. My frat brother Lloyd Haskett, 85 till I die, 1906. I appreciate you, frat. Susan Dunn, family in the building.
It's a sweetie.
Witchy Hall, Donnell Shipley. Appreciate the super chat once again, Donnell. I appreciate you. Philly, what's going on? I appreciate you jumping in. Hearts and Roses 15. I like that screen name, man.
Yeah, Kansas City. That's Chief Concerns family. Yeah, Hearts and Roses.
That's what's up, man. Carlos Rosado, man. Carlos is somebody that's been touching base with me a lot. I appreciate you, Carlos. Sunseed, everybody in there. Eagle Stewart, appreciate you. K Chanel was in the house tonight. So yeah, we had a really good night tonight, man. And we're gonna keep this thing going. I will be live streaming the game on Sunday. That is a live watch. I will not be showing the game. It's just my commentary on it. You know, I can't show the game, or YouTube will shut me down. You know, the NFL don't play with that. So, but we're gonna have some fun, man. It's gonna be some phenomenal games, and hopefully, if things work the way we want them to work, we will have the rematch, the Eagles
sir.
and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl for round 2, man.
Yeah, baby. I would love to see it. So hey,
Love it.
up there on the 95, fly Eagles fly, and it's home of the Chiefs, baby. That's what we're gonna do. So we're trying to come back to that, man. Marcus, yeah, I appreciate you saying that, man. I really do. Todd Duffy said what's up too. He's on.
What's up, Duff?
Yeah. So good deal.
EKU in the building, man. But we're gonna get up on out of here. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Be safe in all this cold weather. And tell your people you love them while they here. Amen. I will see y'all on the next time. Go Birds. I'm out.
Right.